Hi everyone, my name is Lex Albrecht. I'm a former professional road cyclist and I still love riding bikes for the fun of it. I'm really excited because today I have a brand new product from Sena. This is the S1 Smart Helmet. Now I know Sena makes great stuff because I've been using their helmets with integrated communication systems for years now, but this product is apparently super special. The S1 has even won the IF Design Award for 2024, so it's obviously impressed a lot of people so far. Let's see what we got here. Pretty simple packaging. On the inside, we can see the helmet right away when we open it up. And what's inside, we have another little bag here. In this bag, you'll find spare pads to replace if yours get a little bit too sweaty. Now, I typically like to throw these in the washing machine, so when you do have your current set in the washing machine, then you can swap it in with a spare set. We also have a USB-C charging cable and the instruction manual and quick start guide in all different languages. That's really good. I'm gonna choose English. First of all, take a look at this styling. Super sleek, very classy. We have awesome ventilation here. Very aerodynamic, it's apparent. And I really like the balance between the matte finish and the gloss accents. That it's not only aesthetic, but they chose to put the gloss finishing around the outside of the helmet to protect it so that like when you set it down on the table at a coffee shop ride or something, it's not going to get all wrecked or anything. It's also quite lightweight, and the ventilation, you can tell, is cleverly designed. What makes a Sena Smart Helmet so cool though, regardless of the model, is the integrated communication system. So you can see right here, if you take a close look, this is a microphone. And then we have speakers right here that sit right above where your ears would be if the helmet was on the head. And that is so neat because you can hear whatever audio is coming through your helmet without blocking your ears with earbuds. Now I know that in many municipalities, it is not even legal to ride with earbuds in your ears. So Sena's solution here is awesome because you can hear your audio super well because it's very close to your ears, and it has Sena's sound technology, which is pretty much world renowned, but you're not blocking ambient sound, so that's great for safety, and also you'll avoid getting any tickets if you have cops in your town that like to enforce the rules. The controls for the S1 are here in the back. You can use the app or you can use the buttons. I prefer to use the buttons because I like to keep my phone put away when I'm riding my bike so I can just focus on the ride. The charge port can be accessed by a little flap, and then you can plug the USB-C charge cable in there. You can either use the USB-C charge cable that came in the box with this Sena S1 helmet or use any old USB-C cable that you have handy. To turn the S1 on, press the plus button here and the multi-function button here and hold. Now to connect this helmet to another smart helmet or to a group of smart helmets, all you have to do is tap the mesh intercom button or the multi-function button. And you'll see the green flashing light, and that's a universal signal that Sena has to let you know that your Sena device has connected to the mesh intercom network. Now, if you have another Sena mesh helmet like this R1 Evo that I have here, you can just turn on its mesh network, and as long as the devices are on the same mesh intercom channel, they will automatically seek each other out and connect. So the S1 is already on. We know that because of the green flashing light. I'll press the multifunction or center button here, and then I see the green flashing light. And now, if I speak through the microphone of this R1 Evo, you can obviously hear my voice through the S1, and vice versa with the speakers on this R1 Evo. If I had other helmets, I could just turn on their mesh intercom network and the whole entire group would connect. It's super easy and super handy. The system is an open mic system. That means you don't have to push to talk to activate any microphones. If you don't want to hear the other person, you can either shut the mesh intercom off by simply tapping the mesh intercom button, or you can scroll your volume all the way down to the very lowest setting. If you don't want to have crosstalk with people who are wearing Sena helmets but are not necessarily in your group, you can choose a different mesh intercom channel. So channel 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. To change the mesh intercom channel, you can either use the Sena app on your smartphone or simply tap the button here, the multifunction button that we use to turn the mesh on 2 times. And then you'll hear channel settings. And to scroll through the channels, use the plus and minus buttons. Tap the mesh button again, or that multifunction button again, and your helmet will be set to that channel. If you're wondering why you might want to have intercom system in a cycling helmet when you probably have never used something like this before, if you've never had a Sena helmet, well, there are many different reasons. You can use this with your friends, with your club, with your family, with your teammates. It makes riding so much more fun because you don't have to fight or battle to communicate with the people you're riding with. If there are strength discrepancies and maybe some person is riding up the hill a little bit faster than the next guy, you can continue the conversation and you don't really feel like you're split up apart. Another really cool thing is having communication on the bike that Sena systems offer is actually awesome for preventative safety. You can call out obstacles, especially if you're like on the mountain bike trails, which is what the M1 Evo is specifically made for, but there's nothing to say you can't use the S1. It's just a question of styling differences and the absence of a visor. But you can call out turns. You can do that out on the road too. You can call out potholes. You can also wear these with your family if you have kids. You can get them to stop before the crosswalk, or you can make sure that they don't necessarily go too far without shouting. And that makes it a very positive family experience for everybody, not just for you as a parent, but also for the child. It's really cool to be able to communicate without struggling and knowing that the person that is listening to you is going to hear the message that you're actually trying to convey. What's actually really cool too is if you are into motor pacing, you can connect your Sena S1's intercom system to any Sena motorcycle communication device. And the chances that your motor pacer is using a Sena communication device on their motorcycle helmet is pretty high because Sena is a leader in the motorcycle communication space. So all both of you have to do is simply tap the mesh intercom button, and then you'll be able to communicate with your voice instead of communicating with pain faces in the driver's rear view mirror. And that is something that is pretty cool. I actually have a video that I can share with you. I'll put that in the description below. And it shows me doing a workout with my former coach, Pascal Chaquette. It was a sprint workout where I would ride in the draft of the motorcycle, and then he would tell me to sprint. I would get out of the draft, sprint as hard as I could, and then get back into the draft and recover with my legs going at a pretty high leg speed. It was actually really fun to go back out with him a couple of years ago and try that workout again with the Sena communication technology. So I could hear his voice coming through the speakers and communicate with him through his Sena device using the microphone right here. Super cool. I also used the Sena communication systems in Race Across America, where it's mandatory to have a follow vehicle. And instead of wearing a helmet, the vehicle drivers, the drivers of the cars and the vans, would use Sena headsets. Sena makes headsets that are for various outdoor activities, like the Expand Mesh headset. And Sena also makes industrial communication headsets that can double for other purposes, like Race Across America, for example. And they go over the ear. They actually cancel out some noise. There's the Cast headset and the Tough Talk headset. They're super practical for rides like Race Across America when you have a support crew. One thing that I'm really excited about that I wasn't expecting to be so stoked about is the adjustment system on the side. If you're already familiar with Sena cycling helmets, you're probably going to be stoked about this. The old system to adjust the front part and the rear part of the straps looked like this, and there's a little lever in here to loosen it, and then you can pull it to slide it up and down. Now it was pretty good, but I really like this new and improved system. It's simplified, and I would say that in this case, simpler is better. All you have to do is just slide it up here until you find a comfortable fit right around your ears. By the way, Sena has a really good video on their YouTube channel about how to fit a cycling helmet. So if you're not used to changing a cycling helmet, or you're not quite sure how to get the perfect fit for both safety and comfort, check out their YouTube channel. It's really easy to adjust it when it's on the head. The controls are pretty easy to access too. I really like this helmet. So let's take one final look at the Sena S1 Smart Helmet. Here we go, we have the light flashing in the back. There's a control panel with the plus and minus buttons, the multifunction button, the light button, and in the middle is the flap for the USB-C charge port. On the underside, we have the speakers, we have a microphone, we have a dial adjustment system for a perfect fit, and a clasp also for the chin strap. And if we take a look at the overall unit itself, you can see that it has really nice styling. It has a matte finish with gloss accents. This is the matte white model. It's also available in black and gray. I really like how they chose to add the gloss touch all around the brim of the helmet. This will make it a little bit more resistant and it will increase its lifespan, especially when you're setting the helmet down to change flats or setting it down on the coffee shop table. Really clever idea from Sena. This is the view from the front. Awesome ventilation side, the top, and again we'll return to look in the inside of it here where you can see the speakers and the microphone. I wear a size medium. It has the capacity for heads with a circumference of 55 to 59 centimeters, and this one weighs 340 grams, which is super impressive, especially considering all the technology that's built right into here. You have the battery system in here, you have the mesh intercom system, the chips in there, the speakers, the microphones. This helmet is awesome. It rivals any other top-of-the-line helmet that other helmet brands are making for cycling, but Sena is a communication company and they still have succeeded in making an awesome helmet, plus with all of this really cool technology built right in.